Whew. This is one. It's for the history books. Yeah. Where's my water there? I have no water. Jeez, yo, please, I have no water. Yo. Hey, welcome into another episode of the Numerovational Fly By with Brother King Simon. Yeah. Today is October 10th, 2021. October 10th, 2021, which to me has been a very interesting over the night occurrence of that 1010. And I say that for a reason. Remember, please share the video. If you want to share some Cash App love, more than welcome to share Cash App love. It's pinned right there. $ King Simon 3158. And you know, last night I didn't pay for the fight. Just want to let people know I did not do that. But thanks to Star from Star Report, he sent me a link to watch it. And as I was going through the numbers of every fight, and I seen the strengths and the weaknesses and the parts where people was getting knocked down and all that stuff. Respect to Mr. Tyson Fury. He is the reigning champion. And his as the 12 o'clock bell came in, that's when his strength got even stronger, because he's born on the 12th. See, remember, the knockout and the finishing happening right into the 10:10 hour. That's when the vortex was open. And I recognized that last night, and I looked at the clock. I said, okay, interesting. Like I wrote on my thing, I said, both of them are in very interesting mathematical timing. Now, Deontay could have taken it. He had knocked him down twice. Could have taken it, but he got a little wavered. And if you notice if you notice, and I said, pay attention to the rounds and their connection to their numbers. In the third round, remember, Tyson Fury is born August the 12th. 1 + 2 is 3. The third round, he knocks Deontay down. Fourth round, Deontay knocks Tyson Fury down twice. Deontay is born October 22nd. 2 + 2 is 4. Boom. Pay attention now as we're getting stronger into certain rounds. Sixth round was a definitely strong one for Tyson Fury. Very strong. And I knew after the 7th, 8th round, that's where it was going to be, especially going into that, because the name Tyson Fury in both the Chaldean and the Pythagorean system equals to the number 10. Tyson equals 21 in the Pythagorean system. Fury equals 25. 21, which equals 3. 25, which equals 7. 7 + 3 is 10. That's in the Pythagorean system. In the Chaldean system, much older system, Tyson adds up to the 20, which 2 + 0 is 2. Fury adds up to 17, which 1 + 7 is 8. 8 and 2 is 10. 10-10 was his strong point. So when 10-10 at 12 o'clock, he's born on the 12th, came in, his energy got even stronger. Very interesting. And I analyzed the fight. And I don't bet on fights. I don't do none of that. And I can predict a lot of fights. I can do that. I've done very well at analyzing fight. But I always want to give the benefit and the balance, because I looked at both of their mathematical charts, not their astrological chart. Because numerology gives a pinpoint right now, right here. And it's just like astrology from its own perspective. But seeing that 10-10 in Tyson Fury's names, if whoever had the choice of picking the fight date, if they would advise myself or another reputable person that does sessions, I would have said do the fight after Deontay Wilder's birthday, because he's in a critical cycle before his birthday. His birthday is October 22nd. He's in his critical cycle before his birthday. It didn't make sense to me, because I already wrote that on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. That's just a cycle. That's not a good cycle to be trying to do things. Although it is a cycle of completing and ending things, but he could be completing a job or being ending for a job. He could be ended in a ring like that. That's why he wanted to go out on his shield. He'd rather get knocked out before throwing in a fight, and exactly what happened. He had to get knocked out, and Tyson Fury was victorious. So, and interesting, the number 1 is also connected to the sign of Leo. Very clear. So he's in October, which is also ruled by the number 1, or connected to the number 1. October is the quote unquote 10th month now, although it's Octo, which is 8. Come see, come sa. But we're vibrating in that it is the 10th month. And again, 10-10 came in strong, and that is where Tyson Fury's strength came in, and that 1 is still predominant in the 10-10, because 10-10 is the Wheel of Fortune energy. In numerology, it's one of the Wheel of Fortune energy. And that Wheel of Fortune could go either way, but again, looking at things from a holistic perspective, that's just me. I've never been a betting man, and in seeing that, and plus, he was doing exactly what a number 3 does: agitate, nervous energy, reckless mouth, reckless talk. I watched even the weigh-in. I watched also the last conversation that they had together on stage. Reckless talk, and I see that Deontay being a number 22-4, which is mental. It's one of the mental numbers in my book. He had to calm his mentality down. He had to keep his mind right. So I see why he was doing the quiet thing and all that, trying to keep his mind right. But, and like I said in my post, the only way Tyson could use his nervous energy and his reckless energy and to get into the mind of Dante, and he got into the mind, because he's talking to him even during the fight. You know how they trash talk. They trash talk at each other. And he's putting his weight on him, laying his weight on him. He's laying his weight on. And he knows how to use his weight. Let's be real. Even though, and Dante is not used to that weight that he put on, but expect some depression. Definitely on Dante's, because he's born on that 22nd, that depressive. And he's a slugger. He's a brown bomber. And I want you because one of Muhammad Ali's grandchildren said Tyson Fury reminds him of his grandfather, Ali. Talker, reckless talker, could talk. But Ali was born a different breed than Tyson Fury, because he was about the activism and doing his thing. But what's so interesting about that, when he said that, when I heard the grandchild say that, and then I seen how it ended, what's so funny is that if I can recollect, George Foreman walked out of the ring without shaking Muhammad Ali's hand too back in those days. And the same thing Deontay Wilder did to Fury last night. Did not shake his hand. And George Foreman went into depression. If you read George Foreman's number, being born January 10th, I forgot the year, it added up to a 7. But I know when you added the year, it added up to a 7. His life path is 7. And George Foreman went into depression after that fight. Expect depression to fall on my brother Deontay Wilder, because that number 22, if they don't find balance, it will go to the lower octave of the number, which is the 4. 2 plus 2 equals 4, and 4 is a main, and because 2 is an emotional number, 2 is a number of emotions. It's a number of insight, but it's a number of emotions, and the need to find balance. And if he doesn't have a good team around him to maintain his balance, which he wants to be alone. He didn't want to do no interviews. He didn't want to, and George Foreman didn't want to do none of that either, which is interesting. Back in the day with Ali, that big upset that they had, but this is we should pay attention to his mental health going in, because this is it's messed him up, you know. So you got to pay attention to whenever those mental health numbers show up. From the study from my book, Numerovation and mental stability, I point out all of the mental health numbers that I've recognized. The number 4, the number 7 are the primary ones, and the numbers 8, 5, and 3 are the secondary ones. 4, anything that adds up to 4, like 13 or 22nd, at any part of your chart can trigger mental health, whether it's finding balance and the need to stay mentally on a certain level, keeping your mind at a high. 7, anything that adds up to 7, like 25 or 16, can lead to also mental frustration and mental health, depression. 8, because it's one of those multiples of 4, which can lead to loneliness, lonely thoughts, and lead to depression. Anything that adds up to 8, like 26 or 17. 5, because it's a nervous energy, deals with mental fatigue and nervousness, it can lead to nervous breakdowns and then mental depression. Nervousness, then mental depression, but it can lead. That's why it's down as the 2 last numbers, the 3 and the 5. The 2 last numbers are the nerve numbers that can lead to nervous breakdowns and then depression. That's how powerful numbers and cycles. And like I said, when people do sessions with me, I tell people most of the time, if not all the time nowadays, numbers don't require you to believe in them. They work behind the scenes whether you believe them or not. Time, years, dates, computer binary codes, whatever numbers are associated, whether it's behind the scenes or in front of the scenes, whether it's a spiritual or physical, whether it's dealing with mathematics or esoteric, numbers are the language of the universe, because we needed numbers to show us some type of order and guidance and direction. That's why numbers are here, came out of us to remind us of how great we are connected to the universe as a divine guiding symbolism. These are symbols. That's why numbers are here. And that's why we use numbers in every society. There's a counting and a pattern and a cycles being replicated and brought down to us, so we can understand by studying the stars and its cycles and all that, and the stars being unnumbered and the sand being unnumbered. You can't even try to count sand. You could have a palm of sand in your hand right now and probably have like a million grains in your hand. It's hard to, you can't count it, but that's the mathematics. That's the beauty of mathematics, the beauty of applied mathematics, the beauty of numbers and studying the numbers. So it's important. And always recognize that every number has its duality. It has its ups, it has its downs, it has its stagnation. Some people get stagnant. Some people are comfortable. So don't look at those numbers as just mental numbers as far as going down depressive. Sometimes there's higher energy. It's just that those numbers have to work a little bit more to maintain a higher mental stability and mental balance. That's all. When it comes to 3 and 5, they just have to keep on staying jovial and keep on staying optimistic and keeping their mind, and don't go down the nervous, energetic way in the nervousness, or go down a nervous breakdown, because they have many. And I'm not saying that all numbers don't have a health unbalance sometimes, the other side of it. It's just that in my study, I've seen those particular numbers drawn to mental health and depression, nervous health and depression, all that kind of stuff. So it's a study. And when you do study patterns and sequences and cycles, then it reveals itself. Then you can actually teach it and use it to guide others, like I do with Numerovation, using numbers to motivate you. You know, it's a communication. It's a communication that we have with numbers. It's a communication that we have with the planet, with the communication that we have with the universe. If we learn to use its mathematics and use its applied mathematics on all levels, it can be very helpful. It can create this GPS for yourself, this guiding positioning system, so you can move and work. Move and work. You know what I'm saying? In this realm. You know. Been looking at doing a few things. I want to wait till after the quote unquote retrograde. Also, although retrograde is not controlling my life, but in a so-called Mercury retrograde, you have to always prepare. Keep yourself prepared. It's just like if you know you use a computer, if Mercury retrograde is going to last until, let's say, I think it lasts until, let me see my notes here, you know, because if Mercury retrograde is going to last till October 23rd, let's say you're using a computer, then you should have at least another extra computer to back that up, just in case something goes on. Let's say you got to get somewhere on time at a certain time, then you should need to leave earlier so whatever's going on out there doesn't obstruct you or hold you back. Could be traffic and all that. So if you leave on time, you get there on time. If you leave at least an hour earlier, so you can get there. It's best to be there at least a half hour earlier than to be there right there on the time or coming late. You know, so don't get caught up in so much of what the planet is doing, but get caught up in what your planetary orbits of you, or what your planetary orbits of who you are is doing. And how are you living to its highest and wisest level? Because if we're all connected to this, that means we all can use this for our benefit. If we are gods having a human experience, then we need to tap into the God experience in order to navigate the human experience better. Some simple stuff, but it does take work. So being that today is 1010, a master number, 1010, anything that deal with those doubling of numbers. And like I said, in my system of numerovation, 10 is the number of one of the numbers of what we call the master number potentials. I mean, they could definitively be a master number because 0 adds potential to whatever follows, whether you're born on the 20th or the 30th of the month, or if I see 40, 50, 60s, and 70s and 80s in your chart, I look at all of that. I look for the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I look for all of that. I look for 88, 99, 22. I look for all the master numbers. I look for angel numbers, 111, 222, 333. I look for all of that in people's charts because you got to look at things from a holistic perspective. And I want to start something by after the about in November called Sunday night numerovation, something to motivate people before they go to work or before they go into their job the next day, because according to stats, they say sometimes people have their major heart attacks on Monday. This is according to stats. I've heard Les Brown say it. I've heard many other motivational speakers say that because people are returning back to jobs that they don't like, that's not satisfying. Now, if you're enjoying your job, or you like to go there, hey, or if you like your business, that's good. Because I don't think anybody's going to create a business that they don't like, but some have. They turn their businesses that they've loved have turned into a job. And when a business that you used to love turn into a job, then that becomes a problem. Because job or job, according to certain languages, means what was that? Affliction. And you do not want to be afflicted by something that you said you used to love. That means you might have to reinvent yourself. You might have to reinvent yourself or create other streams. You can Google all of that up, how to find different streams of income, how to make 10,000 a month, and there's different ways of doing it, multiple ways, but you do have to put in work. This is the realm of working. And if you're going to work, you got to work towards your betterment, got to work towards your better health, you got to work towards you being stronger, you got to work towards your family, you got to work for yourself, you got to do all types of things in this realm because this is the learning center, and because today is 10-10, and when you add the 10 plus the 10 is 20, plus the year 5, 2021 equals 5, that's 25. This is the day, universal day of observation, but it's also a vortex opening to those wheel of fortune energies of accomplishing and staying on the path, staying focused in what you want to do without second guessing yourself, avoiding thinking too deeply in your mind, especially those born on this day. Today is your 7th personal year cycle. 25 is of observation and listening more than you talk. So if this is a universal day, 25, which is a 7, listen more than you talk. Pay attention to the inner voices, and whatever inner voices is coming, start to write and jot them down. Ideals. Because this morning I woke up, I started writing and jotting down on my board. I started writing. I woke up and I said, man, I got to write. And I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark writing this. I could see in the dark to a certain extent. Our eyes start opening up. And I said, wow, I gotta do this angels numbers book. And I'm writing my own angel numbers book, but it's not called Angel Numbers. And I said this a couple months ago. My book is going to be called either Numerovational Guide of Life's Angles, or the Numerovational Angles of Life. Which title sounds good? Numerovational Guide of Life's Angles, or the Numerovational Angles of Life? Y'all let me know. The first one or the second one? Put 1 or 2. Which one sound better? The first one is the Numerovational Guide of Life's Angles, or 2, the Numerovational Angles of Life. Which one sound? 1 or 2? Put 1 or 2 in the chat. I like 2, but I'm feeling 2 because it's shorter. The Numerovational Angles of Life, not angel numbers. I'm sure people will love that. Not angel numbers, because angel and angles is the same, but it's the angles of life that we take and try, that I want to break down with the numbers in a nice small guide. Something that's similar to what she wrote. A same small book. This is a small book. It's a small book. This is a small book with like 237 pages. I wanted to be a small little guide called the Numerovational Angles of Life. I'm thinking I'm going to use that name. That second one came up because angles is angels, but at least you got to recognize the power. I'm gonna add the 4 different paths that I have in this book. I'm gonna add in each number I'm going to deal with, as far as the Numerovational Angles of Life. I'm going to add the constructive, obstructive, destructive, and complacent. How to at least recognize those things. So, it's so far, like I said, the first one came up, the Numerovational Guide of Life's Angles. And then the other one came and let me condensed it and said the Numerovational Angles of Life, using the Numerovational Angles of Life. I got, because that's where I am on that road of showing people, not just, see, with her, she kept it nice and simple. Ain't nothing wrong with this. She kept it nice and simple, where you could look at this book and see how simple, because she was able to hold like 4 or 5 different breakdowns But each page is going to be something for me. Each page, and I'm going to attempt to go into the 999 and go into 10, 10, 11, 11, 20, 20, 20, 22, to all that kind of stuff. 22. We'll touch all those numbers, but it has to have the angles, the different angles of life. Because like this has an angle. Every angle is here. Every angle is on this phone cover. Angle. Every angle. So I want everybody to be able to look at their numbers, or look at the numbers that they constantly see on multiple angles, and not just think it's always positive, but it will give you the positive. It will give you the possible obstructions, the possible destructive manner the number can have. And it's complacency, where people become comfortable because they're not using the constructive mechanism of the number. It takes, and remember, this is applied mathematics, so it takes some research. I'm going to do a lot of stuff from intuition and thoughts of what downloads from those numbers as I look at them, because I got to put them all on paper and then look and break them down and let them flow out of my mouth and my mind, so it can help. It has to be of guidance. Anything I do has to be of help. Has to be of help. So look out for that. And I'm working on doing the Sunday night Numerovation, where you can either call in. I'm thinking about doing it on, what's that? Free conference call. Could be a call in. It might be a YouTube thing on my Ministry of Numerovation. Do it every Sunday night, probably around either 9. Since I'm going into my 9-year cycle next year, I could do it on the 9 p.m. 9:09 p.m. every Sunday. I'm looking at that. Sometimes I get busy. Sometimes I get busy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up? Copper Vibration, man. How's everything? How was the movie release, man? Oh, man. I hope it was a great success. I hope people came out. Big up to Copper Vibration. They got a new movie. Make sure you check them out. You might want to still order it if they got it up for order. Big up to them. Again, 10-10 wins. Today is that 10-10. And let me share something with you about 10-10 from this book, 5 Numbers of Destiny by Anne Marie Uber. She says something about 10-10 in this book. Let me see. Well, she says something about the number 10. She didn't say about 10-10. Where is it? There we go. Number 10 symbolizes as the wheel of fortune. It is a number of intentions or personal agendas, depending on one's honor or lack thereof. Duality. This number denotes a rise to fame and fortune. Look at Tyson Fury with that 10-10 energy he has. His first name and last name adds up to a 10 in the Pythagorean and in the Chaldean system. So he got double in the tens. What does it say? This number denotes a rise to fame and fortune, but just as easily a fall. It bestows duality. I like how she comes, because she comes from a dual perspective also. It bestows self-confidence and having faith. 10 deals with all issues of faith, including others' trust in you and trusting yourself. It is considered a fortunate number because one's plans will usually work out. People born under that 10 energy. The 10th card in the tarot deck is called the Wheel of Fortune. This card deals with a law of karma and grace. One is learning and growing spiritually through one's experiences. It represents the unknown future coming up suddenly over the horizon. We cannot see it until it is upon us. What was meant to happen will happen. 10 is a new beginning, a smarter beginning, because one has been around the wheel once already. This image contains the symbol of Jupiter and Saturn. representing luck and hard lessons. That's interesting, representing luck, because if you study the life of Tyson Fury, whose name, not his birthday, his name adds up to the number 10 in both systems, he has gone through a life of hard lessons. That's why it says here, this image, which is dealing with the 10 energy, contains a symbol of Jupiter and Saturn, representing luck and hard lessons, respectfully. The wheel always creates new beginnings and brings around old endings that were not resolved. One's fortune is based on one's intentions. You will reap what you sow or have sown. Very good book to have. Good book to have in your collection. This is I ain't afraid to tell you the information. It's all about researching. And she says she does it from, it says 5 numbers of destiny. Change your fate using the lost art of ancient Chaldean numerology, not Pythagorean. The ancient Chaldeans, those of darker hue. You can see it's a European woman on this. That's why those that are writing your books, put your picture on your books. Don't pretend that you don't exist and I'm humble, I don't want to put my picture on my book. F that. You got to reclaim your sciences and let them know where it comes from. Every book you see here, all my books have my picture on my book. And then in the book, you put references and who you're researching, and because you have to cross-reference, you have to study, you have to go into, I'm never not going to put recommended reading in the book. Never not going to do that. Never not do that. Some of these books, they don't want to put recommended reading because they want to be the only ones, and they're the only ones with this knowledge, as if it just came in a vacuum. Like as soon as you came out your mama's poom poom and your father's pee pee, you know how to speak and talk it. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? So always be willing to give other people credit. Always be willing to give other people their due. Always be willing to share, because you're not going to live for long. I'm not living here forever. So I'm always willing to share where I got, or where I read, or what I'm reading, or what recommended reading. A bibliography is good to always look for a bibliography in the book. And read the introduction, because the introduction is introducing you and telling you the intent of the book. Where it's introducing to you where it is, where it's going. That's what I have an introduction in all my books. Letting you know. Only one book I have an epilogue in the book. In the back of the book, there's an epilogue. In the back of the no promotion is bad promotion. So those that are writers, if you're going to write, family. And don't worry about where you start writing. Sometimes you just have to write down like I've done. I wrote down all the chapters. And would you believe the last chapter was the first chapter that was written? The last chapter was the first chapter that was written. Oh, copper vibration. Thank you, darling. Because you're willing to expand. You're willing to expand. You know what I'm saying? We family, copper. We family, copper. And of course, that must be Monet. That's Monet, of course. Monet. You got to say that word right. Monet. And, Cancer is my Jupiter. So that's why Cancer is, according to my astrology chart, Cancer is my Jupiter. So that's all about the family and keeping the education right, teaching, man. Got to give, Cancer's in my charts. So, and Jupiter is the big, largest planet in the universe, in this particular universe. So that's where my love to give and share is important. My love to share and all that, and it's all right. Because once you put your picture on your book. Yeah, put your picture on your book. Oh, look, white folks, after they took over, after they won the war, they remixed history, and they became the father of numbers, the father of medicine, the father of this, the father of that, the founding fathers of... God damn, how you do that? How do you do that? How How you become, after you done stole, pillaged, killed, and wiped out everybody, how you became the father of this and this and that, this and that, this and that. They don't even include their mothers. They say father. There's no balance in this. So look, if you're going to write your book and put your picture on the book. Make sure it's a beautiful picture or a handsome picture, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Put your picture on the book. Let them know where the information's come. Get your cross-referencing done. Get your information. I'm looking at doing some numerovational cards too. I was thinking about doing that whole thing in a cards fashion, but where lay cards and stuff. But it is what it is. Whatever comes out, it's gonna help. Whatever comes out is gonna help. It costs money to make it happen. I say money is abundance. It's all about thinking in abundance, keeping your mind in abundance. You're going to go through the ups and downs, but as long as you maintain an abundant thought pattern and commanding the universe. Commanding, don't beg the universe. Command, because you're part of it already. You're already a part of this universe. So you don't have to beg universal creator or universal energy. You just have to command. And like Billy Carson says, you can command and you will visualize where you want to take this. You know what I'm saying? What she said? Copper vibration. I never understood or gave the name depression. And when I said it to my husband, he was like, you don't ever have depressed energy. I told him I internalize it. Yeah. Them cancers, y'all are hard shells, so y'all lock that joint in and then sidestep everything. Remember, crabs walk sideways. People, they walk sideways, so they sidestepping things. Numbers help me understand it. Thank you. You're welcome, darling. So, on this day of the 1010, remember, it's a Wheel of Fortune day. And Wheel of Fortune can go another way also. So if you're going to live up to that Wheel of Fortune energy, you have to be creative. You have to be productive. You have to be assertive. You have to be informative. You have to allow yourself to fall into your creativity by putting the paper down in front of you and start writing your thoughts and what you want to create. But make sure what you create or what you want to create is something that you love. Sometimes we got to look back in time. Sometimes we got to go back in time. Sometimes we got to go back and retrieve that little self of us. We got to retrieve that fearless self of who we were before we inherited fear or developed any fear. Sometimes we got to go back, grab that little person and come on with me, man. I'm talking about you. Sometimes you got to go back to your little you when you wasn't afraid of fire, or afraid of water, or afraid of this and afraid of that, and bring that back to the forefront and say, you know what, damn it, I wasn't afraid of this when I was a child. What the hell am I afraid of this now? They taught us, you step on a crack, you break your mama's back, you go on the ladder, this happens, you're a black cat, this happens. They done taught us all kinds of mother flipping fears. When everything we want is on the other side of fear in order to say, I am the greatest. Muhammad Ali, perfect example, overcame fear and became the greatest at what he did. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to your greatness and how you're going to use it. Whether it's mathematically, whether it's astrology, whether it's numerology, whether it's whatever system whether it's religious wise, pay attention to your greatness, because even if you're in religion, whatever's in that Bible, whatever's in that Quran is supposed to be a reflection of who you can become and what you can become, whether positive or negative. You see a Jesus, a Moses doing miraculous things, you can do miraculous things. You can do it. You can do miraculous things. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you go back. And when you read your Bibles at church or wherever you're going, or masjids, your Qur'ans, or you're reading put yourself in the book. Put yourself in Jesus's place. Put yourself in Moses's place. Put yourself in Muhammad's place, because those energies are a reflection of who you can become. That's why Jesus said, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. Even he told you, just the faith of a mustard seed, you could do greater. He kept on telling y'all, but he even saying, is it not written in your books that ye are gods? So where does that concept come from? Woo! And look, like Ian Levazant sometimes say, Ian Levazant once said, sometimes we teach what we need to learn. I'm learning this just like you're learning. I haven't perfected all this yet. I haven't gotten better at that, because perfection looks like it's a limitation. So I'm sure the word perfect in Hebrew or Arabic or Amharic or is not that word. It's a bettering of yourself, finding balance, better balance of yourself. Because in this realm, you probably will never be, quote unquote, perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's a word. You can better your best. I don't care how old you are. You can better your best. You got people like Kentucky Fried Chicken that didn't make his major success until he was in his 60s. What excuse do you have if you still in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s? You ain't got no goddamn excuse. If somebody in their 60s, even Suzie was getting his highest success in his 70s going into his 80s, in his 60s going into his 80s. Dr. Suzie was much more recognized as he was getting older. The Africa too, as they was getting older. He wasn't on no Dame Dash's thing because he was what he was doing from back in his day. It was because of the information they put back in the day is why they got recognized. And the stuff that Suzie and Doc, look at Queen of Four. Queen of Four's success is off the hook now in this era, not back in those days. She's done the work to where it can meet up with what she's doing. That's why you see Maya with her. That's why you see Erykah Badu with her. That's why you see India Irie with her. That's why you see great people around with Queen of Four now, and you're seeing it in her 60s going into her 70s. So we got work to do before we get to those ages. Come on now, put in that work. You write those books, do those lectures, produce that dance, make that thing happen, get those business, buy that land, do what you gotta do. do what you gonna do. Don't. I can't tell you who to sock it to. I can't tell you who to sock it to. Make sure you put that socket, that plug in that socket so you can electrify the world with your talents. Put that plug in that socket so you can electrify the world with your talents. Let me say it again. Put that plug in that socket so you can electrify with your talents. Oh yeah, let's get it. When it comes to man and woman, you put that plug in that socket so you can electrify with your talents. I'm just saying, that's how it works. Things start manifesting, start manifesting. Manifestation, meditation. I needed every bit of this. Oh, you're welcome. I'm having fun, yo. That's it. Just teach. Put the right one through. You got to put the right one in, baby. I think making love or having sex is a beautiful thing when done correctly, easily, and manifesting, when you want to manifest things. I had to learn that, and I'm learning it, still growing into the whole understanding Tantra and all that stuff, how to make love and manifest through your love making. So whoever you with, it's not about doing, oh, goddamn, baby, goddamn. No. It's about, how much land we gonna buy? We gonna make love. That's how you make love. We gonna buy this land. We gonna build this dynasty, this legacy. Oh my God, more money. And then you come, you come by saying more money. I'm just saying, if you start putting that energy out there while the two energy is copulating, guess what? It has nothing else to do but manifest. I'm just saying. if I'm making sense. God damn. Look, read the book. If y'all don't think I'm bad, read this white boy book. This white boy wrote a book years ago called Think and Grow Rich. Matter of fact, that brown book in the middle there, that brown book in the middle, that one is called Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. He talks about the transmutation of sex. Using sex as a transmutation mechanism. Even if you're just doing, sitting on each other's lap and meditating in each other's eyes and breathing in. Damn it, that's the wheel of fortune. Because, like the scriptures say, when two or more come together, that's where the Creator exists. That's where he or she is. So if there's two or more, now I'm not talking about, it can go that way. If you're doing two or more come together, if you're into polygamy or polygyny or threesomes and all that kind of stuff, hey, where two or more exist, then damn it, meditate on manifesting. If you're in a polygamous relationship or a polygynous relationship, then y'all should sit in a circle and think about what y'all want to manifest together in this circle and throw it out there in the universe. And then work towards it. Damn it, that's the fun time. If you're gonna do polygamy or polygyny and all that stuff, or polyandry, whatever you do, you're gonna sit down in a circle together and make things manifest. If you're gonna do it. If you're into monogamy, then it's you and that person. Sit down. I mean, you know, I could tell. I knew it worked even when we didn't do in the nightclubs. I knew it worked. Why I knew it worked in the nightclubs? Because in the nightclubs, when I was in the nightclubs, the energy of what we might call Kundalini was very high, because remember, it's the gyrating of the women and the men dancing together. And I'm talking about when men and women were dancing together. We used to have in the clubs, in nightclubs like Temptations and Legends nightclubs, before the bar closed, we always had what we call a slow dance segment, where the man and the woman come together. And when that segment came up, you can feel the energy in the air. You can feel the what they might dub as Kundalini energy or the tantric energy. That's just misguided sometimes in the nightclubs, misused energy like that is in the nightclub. But you can feel it in the air. Everybody, even at hooky parties. In the hooky parties, when I used to throw hooky parties with my friends, you know, that's going to be in my autobiography, that hooky party stuff. When I used to be in the hooky parties with my friends, it used to be one blue or red light. And you just hearing Dennis Brown or Gregory Isaac singing Night Nurse. And all you see is just people just holding on to each other and rubbing down the wall. Man's back is against the wall because, Jamaica, we like this. We're back against the wall. I rub the gal, I warn the gal, but we looking to make sure nothing's happening. We also scoping it. We scoping the whole place. But that's just how we as Jamaicans was doing it in the dance hall. So in that club environment, I used to be, and I was a DJ, and then I was either hosting. So when you walk through the thickness of a crowd like that, you feel the heat, you feel the passion, you feel the energy of love or the sexual energy strong to the point that you start seeing the steam in the red light or the blue light special in those basements back in the day. And even in the nightclub, if I took a high density light, or if you look at the laser light shows that we used to have in the nightclubs, you could see all of the energy. And there was no smoking in this club. It was just body heat raising up. It was raising. So there is some manifestation methods you can use to direct that energy for your benefit. Study people like Master Yao Morris. He wrote a great book, Master Yao. Everybody Google up Master Yao. Study people like, here's a book that I've been studying, The Multi-Orgasmic Man, Mantak Chia. Study any book by Mantak Chia. The Multi-Orgasmic Man is very good. It's one of my best books. One of my best books. But even and even if you satisfying yourself, at least if you're gonna satisfy yourself, make sure you thinking on that other level. Make sure you thinking on what you're gonna manifest. I'm just saying, because that can be done too. I'm just saying. But when two and more come together, that's where the creator is. Especially it's in a wholesome, holistic environment. Thus ended the lesson. Let me get on out of here. Just want to remind y'all that I will be interviewing a beautiful sister named Leah Lee. Leah Lee, she is the founder of the Birth Family Search. She is a search angel that helps you to find or reconnect with your family through DNA. They do not sell your DNA and all that kind of stuff, but I'll be interviewing her. It's an organization called Birth Family Search Organization. All you have to do is pay for the DNA kit, which is like $50 or $75, and boom, she can help you find your family, especially throughout America if you can't find or if you was adopted or whatever. She can help you hook that up or find where your family lineage ends up at. She did that with her father and her mother and found some very interesting stuff. We're going to have some testimonials, and that's going to happen on this Wednesday, October the 13th. This Wednesday, October 13th at 8 p.m. sharp. I believe it's 8 p.m. I got to remember that. Also, on October 17th, I have an introduction of my two new co-hostesses. Of course, we're going to have Sister New Journey coming in and Sensei Cheryl. Sensei Cheryl. I keep on saying Cheryl or Shirley. Sensei Shirley. Sorry. Sensei Shirley. We will have them coming in, and I'll introduce the world of them to you. Two sisters born on the same day. They're not twins. They're just born on the same day. They're mathematic twins to a certain extent. So they're going to be on with me on October the 17th. And then from there, we'll start doing a lot of interviews I know. I keep on mixing it up. Right. It's Shirley. Right. Shirley. Right. So, let me look at my calendar let me see who I got coming up. Got to look at my calendar. On the 20th, I might do a program with them to talk about some stuff going on, current events. On the 20th, that's a Wednesday, October 20th. On Sunday, we have Liana Hanel. She is one of the authors of this book. Let me pull out this book. She is one of the authors of this book, Healing Thyself, an advanced guide to healing thyself. Dr. Ali Muhammad is one of the authors, but she is also the author. Dr. Liana Hanel, she will be here, holistic practitioner. She will be here on the 24th. So myself and my two co-hosts should be interviewing her. And then we're going to have the business partner and extraordinary person, Sister Elizabeth, is going to be here. The business partner of Billy Carson will be here. I got to learn how to pronounce. I think it's Hoekstra. That's her last name. She's from Korea, sister from Korea, and her name is Elizabeth Hoekstra. And she will be here with me and my co-hosts on the 27th of October. Biohack Your Life. This sister been through a lot. I spoke to her already. She did a session with me, and I broke some stuff down. She's also one of the partners in Forbidden Knowledge TV, so she will be with us live and direct. So we got some great guests coming in. Got some some great guests. Also, we're gonna be bringing in Brother Lorenzo. Brother Lorenzo wrote this book, The Beautiful Logic of Astrology. The Beautiful Logic of Astrology, written by Brother Lorenzo Sanford. Sanford. It's Sanford. We're going to have him in the building coming up soon. I got to call him to lock that in. And we're going to be bringing on Lloyd Strayhorn again, my family member. We're going to be bringing on Lloyd and a few other great people. So we're going to have some fun. All right. So, family, let me get on out of here. I want to thank each and all of you. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and share our greatness. If you understand the numbers that you're born with, comes the time you have to find your greatness. Find your greatness through your numbers. Don't let it be an obstruction or a destruction to you. Let it be a constructive guide, because that's what they are. All right? Remember, if you want to show some love on the Cash App, spread love, $, King Simon 3158. Spread love, And remember, this will be up, and I might put it on YouTube. I might not. I might just keep it on Instagram, but I might put it on YouTube just so other people from everywhere else that don't have Instagram can get it. All right? Have a great day, afternoon, evening. Stay focused, stay strong, stay healthy, stay out of trouble, stay out of people's business, and Les is there to help heal and guide them. All right? Peace.